Hello everyone, this is Jason from Primetime Aquatics. In today's video I wanted to talk about Dragonstone versus Seiryu Stone. They're both awesome. They both can make a tank look really cool. I want to show you a couple of examples, talk about the advantages and disadvantages of each. Thanks for being here. So I thought it'd be pretty cool just to start out with the 50-gallon lowboy. This is in the gallery, and in this tank we used Seiryu Stone, and so you can see it kind of sticking out of the top right there. It is the gray stone, and I absolutely love this tank. Now this aquarium has smaller fish in it, some rainbow shiners. We've got some gold laser cories over here, some empire gudgeons. We have the nanochromis transvestitis over here and down there as well. And so you're going to see a lot of different types of fish. What I love about this tank is the Seiryu Stone. This is what I built this aquascape around. And as you can see, the crypts have grown in a lot. If it's been a little while since I've shown you this aquarium, this is an awesome stone. And the reason why I love it so much is it's got that gray color. Oh, and look at that. Our blue phantom pleco is sticking his head out right there. So the advantage of using this stone is it's a natural look, and I really like it with a darker substrate, as you're seeing here. I also like it because it's not super sharp, and so if you've got longer finned fish or fish that tend to be a little bit active, while it does definitely have some patterning, and I'll show you that here with this piece that's sticking out above the waterline, it's not something that is going to necessarily cut up your fish, or you have to worry about that. And like I said, it just gives that aquascape a wow factor when it comes to rocks. Now this is an awesome type of stone. Now if we come over here, here we have Dragonstone. And so I absolutely love Dragonstone. This is a 75 gallon. This is our mostly barb tank. We've got some clown barbs in here. The redder barbs are Odessa barbs. We have our Nichols mouth brooder in here, as well as some thread fin gobies. And this is a wonderful tank. Absolutely love it. They're going to freak out because I'm getting too close to the tank and they don't like that. But now this is a different look, right? Where the Seiryu Stone was more of a gray, this Dragonstone is more of a tan or brown. And so you could make an argument that this stone is kind of a more natural look. And I think that would be a fair statement. When I aquascaped this tank, that's what I was going for. I wanted a more natural look, and I think this stone looks really good with a more natural substrate. So you can see that tan substrate, that's red flint. That's the brand, is red flint sand. And I thought that was going to be a really good combo with the Dragonstone, and I think it was worked out pretty well. And if the fish are really popping in here. Now there are some things to consider with the Dragonstone. One thing is it tends to be a little bit sharper for the fish, and be careful when you're scaping with it because it can be a little bit sharp as well, just when you're handling it. It is a lighter stone than the Seiryu Stone. Both of them are pretty light, right? It's not like when you're scaping with river rock or something like that. Those river rocks can be very heavy. But both Seiryu Stone and the Dragonstone, that is typically going to be a lighter stone. Dragonstone being even lighter. If there's a downside to this, the major downside would be it has a lot of dust associated with it, especially at first, and so really important. And I had this problem with my tank here. I started to scape it before I rinsed this stuff off. You're going to want to rinse it off, and I would not rinse it off in a sink because it's almost like a clay that comes off of this stone. You're going to want to take a hose and probably rinse it off that way, or put it in a bucket and just shake it out in a bucket and then dump that bucket water outside. Don't dump it down your sink, because I think that sandy type of stuff might very well wind up in your sink. So not the best if it's in the pipes. So this is a great stone. Again, it's a nice natural light stone, but it is a sharper stone again, so we want to be a little bit careful with our faster moving fish. Although we've got barbs in here and all of them are fine, so it's no big deal. You know, it's not a super big deal, but it's just something to keep in mind. Something else to consider when you're thinking about either Seiryu Stone or the Dragonstone, and that is the cost. This tends to be some of the more expensive rock that you're going to find at a pet store, usually around $3 to $4 per pound, where a lot of times if you go with river rock or something like that, it could be a lot cheaper, especially when you go to landscaping stores. Now there are some landscaping stores that are actually carrying Dragonstone and Seiryu Stone. I highly recommend checking those places out first, see if they have it, but it's probably going to be unlikely, where they usually have river rock and elephant stone and stuff like that. These two, not quite as often. So really when it comes down to choice, there's a couple things to consider. Definitely one is your substrate and just the overall feel of the aquarium. Again, with the Seiryu Stone, I really do like the dark or black substrate. Can you mix it in with a lighter one? Yeah, and I've seen it done well, like with a lighter sand. With the Dragonstone that we're looking at over here, I do like that with a lighter substrate, a more natural look. I don't actually think it looks as good with white sand as the Seiryu, but it still can look pretty darn nice. Now, when it comes to the water chemistry for both of them, Dragonstone is not really going to impact your water chemistry at all. It's more of like an inert clay. Seiryu Stone, it's going to be minimal in terms of raising water hardness and messing it all with your pH. It's just, for the most part, I've found them to be very, very stable. Now, our water parameters are on the harder side anyway, and so our GH and KH are close to 10 degrees. Our pH is right around an 8, so it really doesn't do anything to our water parameters. If you had really soft water with a really low pH, maybe the Seiryu Stone might do something, but it's still pretty unlikely. It's not something that I really worry about all that much. So when it comes down to which one to pick, go with your personal preferences, I think. Go with what you're trying to do, what rock is going to show the fish off the best, maybe give you some more contrast between the fish and the hardscape itself. If you're going to be using wood, sometimes the Dragonstone back there in the 75-gallon is a better look, but not always. I've seen them done well with using both types of rocks. But I'd love to hear from you. Which one do you prefer? Do you like the Seiryu Stone, that gray look, or do you like the Dragonstone? As always, thanks so much for being here. We'll see you next week.